Hey everybody, it's Glenn back in this video with my penultimate review from the Marvel Legends Captain America Red Skull BAF wave. It's Taskmaster. Looking at the packaging back, and Taskmaster is pictured alongside Demolition Man, who Hasbro have paired under the banner of Mercenaries of Mayhem. Then pictured on the left there is the Red Skull or Red Onslaught BAF, which is next in my sights, as I've already reviewed the rest of this series, which comprise Captain America, Mockingbird, Sharon Carter, Whirlwind, Cottonmouth, Demolition Man, and Taskmaster as we have here. So here is Taskmaster out of packaging, and I mean no disrespect to the rest of the wave, but it seemed this is the one when pictures were revealed that created most excitement. So now we have him in the flesh, well, plastic. Does he meet expectations? For me, totally. Yet it's never been a character I've been drawn to, so my expectations were much lower than perhaps many others. As fans of the characters might have preferred a straight up redo of the Toy Biz Series 11 one from back in 2005, which was much more in keeping with a classic comic book look dating back to his first appearance in 1980. Yet instead we get his incarnation from the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. Not the greatest cartoon I know, but a pretty great character design nonetheless, I think. It loses the long flowing cloak, which while looks visually dynamic in its camp swishiness on the comic book page, you do have to question the practicality of wearing such a cumbersome thing, especially for a character like Taskmaster, who with his photographic muscle memory is instantly able to mimic any fighting style he sees, so often finds himself in hand-to-hand combat. But then the redesign honours the classic one with keeping the hood part of the cloak, further still adding armour to the limbs, which I'm pretty sure are all newly sculpted and attached to our good old friend the Bucky Cap body, because it just ain't Hasbro's Marvel Legends without a Bucky Cap in the wave. But I can't be too critical of that reuse here, as the addition of all the newly sculpted parts makes for enough of a transformation, leaving me feeling like I'm buying something new and not something I own 20 different versions of already. Speaking of something new, I'm not when it comes to the holsters. Telling is the Z there on the holsters. He's either renamed himself Taskmaster or he's borrowed them from Baron Zemo. And as we know from that Zemo, the guns there are sculpted into the holsters and as such not removable, which is a shame, as on occasion Taskmaster is known to brandish a gun in each hand. But instead for accessories he does come with this, which I guess we'll call it a laser sword. I'm not sure if it's specific to the comics or if it's a product of the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. Either way, I'm reminded of that knockoff lightsaber I got at my local Tesco's for £2.75. Then he also comes with his shield, which is certainly more classically Taskmaster. All the detail on the shield is there just in the deco and not sculpted, raised in relief. On the reverse of the shield, like Cap from this wave, it has a clip and then also a peg, which slots into the hole on the action figure's back as per the cartoon. He also comes with an alternate Udon head representing Taskmaster as he appeared in his own limited series in 2002, which was a collaboration between Marvel and Udon Entertainment, hence it being referred to as Udon Taskmaster. Unfortunately, my Udon head has a sloppy black paint splash, and generally in terms of quality control, luck has not been on my side this wave. Yet I'd rather it be splashed on that head, as I much prefer the other one. It's clearly much more skull-like, so sinister, and just generally embodying more comic camp. Actually, combined with the hood, I imagine him talking with the voice of Skeletor. By the way, the hoods on each are glued pretty firmly in place, so to remove them, say you wanted to switch in the Toy Biz Taskmaster cape or maybe try it with Moon Knight's, you'd need to apply some heat to release the hoods. Now looking at articulation, and both the heads rotate side to side, and then each of them are also able to look down. The skull one this much, and then it's able to also, well, look up slightly. At the shoulders, the arms rotate and they also hinge up to about a right angle to the body. There's upper arm rotation followed by a double jointed elbow. And at the wrists, the hands rotate and they're also hinged, moving down and then also up. There's waist rotation and then an ab crunch which moves this far forwards but then doesn't move especially far back. At the hips the legs move out to the side this far, they move this far forward and then move slightly back. There's upper leg rotation and nice engineering how the sculpt of the armour overhangs the joint cut but doesn't interfere with the articulation. Then there's a double jointed knee followed by a hinge at the ankle moving the foot backwards and forwards, and it has that crazy ankle rocker pivot that I love. And you might think the lip of the sculpt on the armour there affects the degree of pivot you can get, but the foot actually pivots over the top of that lip, which is quite clever. And taking advantage of that ankle pivot with this being his widest stance possible, still with both feet flat on the floor. So all things considered and posed with accessories in hand, and this figure does have a dynamic presence to it. I went into this review lukewarm on the character at best and with neutral expectations. Yet the figure makes me want to pick up some comics and invest in the character even more, which in itself is quite high praise for any action figure. Anyway, to see how it stacks up against the rest of the wave, I'll be ranking them when I review the Red Skull BAF. In the meantime, click this video if you missed my two birds with one stone review of both Mockingbird and Sharon Carter, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye.